This chart visualizes standard political engagement online, but gets dwarfed by this massive spike, representing 22 million digital supporters for the cockroach Janata Party. But those numbers are frictionless. Measuring likes, retweets, and passive support generates huge volume, precisely because they cost the user nothing. The real test of an online movement happens the second the screen locks. Those digital avatars have to force themselves into the physical world and actually stand at the barricades of Jantar Mantar. History shows that a trending hashtag on its own has never forced a government minister to clear out their desk. For Gen Z, the illusion of digital power is shattering. They are realizing true democratic accountability demands the physical friction of putting bodies on the line. The total collapse of the Indian exam system has triggered a mobilization bypassing traditional ideological lines. Look at the faces of these test takers outside a UPSC hall. They call it leak in India, a relentless cycle of compromised formats, hitting major university entrance exams down to state police recruitment. Working-class families pour deep financial sacrifices and years of preparation into these exams, only to watch that effort get erased by a 10-minute technical glitch or a leaked paper. Naturally, that highly localized anger finds a specific target. The demand for Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to resign is a direct plea for basic accountability. The protesters point out an uncomfortable double standard. Politicians secure their children's futures at universities abroad, leaving domestic youth trapped in a decaying infrastructure. When a system repeatedly steals a generation's future, passive online boycotts lose their appeal. Desperation forces a physical mobilization. This animated map illustrates the sheer geographical and financial friction required to actually show up. These converging lines represent people traveling from places like Mumbai, Bihar, and Haryana to a single focal point in Delhi. Traveling these routes requires tangible sacrifices. Students abandon their remaining entrance exam prep, and young professionals take unpaid leave from their corporate jobs. They carry isolated regional grievances, like the inability to conduct a single fair exam in Bihar, straight into a centralized national spotlight. A digital complaint is safe. Sitting on a physical road carries the real risk of meeting police batons. And the destination presents an intimidating physical reality. Heavy paramilitary deployment, surveillance drones, and multi-layered barricades wait for them at Jantar Mantar. The psychological difference between typing a comment in an air-conditioned room and standing under the scorching Delhi sun for hours is massive. Crossing state lines acts as an ultimate filter. It strips away the millions of passive clickers to reveal the true believers who are willing to pay the price of admission for change. These students did not travel hundreds of miles to worship a new politician. This network diagram shows how the CJP actually functions. It acts as an open-source logistical manager, providing the where and when to unite scattered, isolated frustrations under one banner. This decentralized framework bypasses the need for traditional opposition parties, which the youth feel have already failed them. The movement also relies on a strict self-preservation strategy, using their smartphones to record every interaction, protecting the group from false accusations of violence or bad behavior. The digital network is merely a vehicle for coordination. In this new model of open-source protest, the unified cause entirely outranks the brand name. The cockroach moniker started as a satirical internet meme, but it has evolved into a serious psychological framework for action. The core metaphor driving the movement is straightforward. A rotting educational bureaucracy infested with termites requires an unkillable scavenger to eat the rot away. Adopting this specific persona empowers Gen Z. It allows them to shed the label of victims and become active cleansers of their own future. When facing an immovable, apathetic bureaucracy, adopting a resilient, satirical identity provides the exact psychological armor needed to keep fighting. The hard numerical truth is that the physical turnout on the streets will never match those 22 million digital clicks. The movement reached a milestone as these protesters holding the Save Public Education banner traded online rhetoric for tangible physical demands. For many here, this is their first time ever taking to the streets. Their ultimate demand is for systemic parity. If a corporate worker is fired for a minor mistake, they argue a government minister must resign for the total collapse of a national testing system. Large democratic systems are designed to easily ignore frictionless digital complaints. They only react to physical, logistical disruption. A massive digital footprint is nothing more than an invitation to the fight. Real systemic change and true accountability only begin the moment the screens turn off and citizens step outside.